Indie Mogul.
Pixar went with quality and quantity as their latest film not only debuted at the prestigious Cannes Film Festival, but also opened on a record number of 3D screens. Did their strategy catapult them to the top? Let's find out with some movie math. Bursting the opposition's bubble, Pixar's Up rose to the #1 spot with 68.2 million. That's the third biggest opening ever for a Pixar movie, coming in just behind The Incredibles and Finding Nemo. As for the competition, Up opened almost a full 10 million ahead of DreamWorks' Monsters vs. Aliens. And considering not a single Pixar movie has made less than 200 million for the past decade, expect Up to match and probably surpass Monsters vs. Aliens' impressive total haul. Interestingly, 69% of the audience for Up was made up of adults, proving that Pixar's excellent reputation has won them a very loyal following. In fact, I asked you to rate the movie on a 1 to 10, and you gave it a 9, the same score audiences gave it on Friday's episode of Beyond the Trailer. And now for the one-sentence review challenge results. Here's the top 5, and all summer long, #1 will be getting a free pair of AMC movie tickets. Coming in at #5 is Bram B600, who says, endearing comedy and an absurd attention to detail crescendo up to the apex of cinematic brilliance. Next up at #4 is the Company Man 89, who adds, the movie was great, lifted my spirits, and made me call my grandpa right away. And third place goes to Toaster Pig, who says, I like the idea of making a kids movie with some deeper, more serious themes, because when a kid watches pure fluff, it's like eating marshmallows for breakfast. Runner-up is Wireless Taco with, Pixar has done it again, an adventure the whole family will squirrel. And the winner of the 2 free AMC movie passes is Scat Free, who says, in a movie season where most of the highest grossing films were either spin-offs or sequels, Up stands out as a movie that challenges Hollywood with a new and interesting plot and storyline, leaving you with a satisfied smile on your face. And at second place is Night at the Museum 2, which is proving to be quite the popular exhibit. It's down 53% from opening weekend, not bad considering it had to share its audience with Pixar's Up. Collecting another 25.5 million, Night at the Museum 2 is now up to 105 million, which means it's already made almost half of what the original Night at the Museum grossed during its entire theatrical run. And internationally, Night at the Museum 2 moved up a spot to #1, beating out the reigning champ Angels and Demons. And with Ben Stiller and company appealing to audiences at home and abroad, well, it's enough to make real museums jealous. Coming in at #3 is Drag Me to Hell, opening with a respectable 16.6 million. This was about mid-range as far as horror movie openings go, beating out Last House on the Left and The Uninvited, but failing to open as big as The Unborn, My Bloody Valentine 3D, or The Haunting in Connecticut. But Drag Me to Hell has been getting excellent reviews and solid word of mouth, so its shadow could loom over box office charts for weeks to come. It certainly has spoken to a number of you, as several BTT viewers have written their own reviews for Drag Me to Hell on my Facebook page. So check them out, and you can also take my poll for your favorite movie of May 2009. And while you're there, I hope you'll consider friending me if you haven't already. There are so many big movies out right now, here's a quick roundup of the rest of the pack. Terminator Salvation fell 62% to #4 for a total so far of 90 million. At this point, there's a small chance it'll match T3's final box office tally, but the impressive haul of T2 is out of range. I don't think anyone will be back for a while. At #5, Star Trek continues on course to box office domination and is now, at 209 million, not only the most successful film of the year, but the first to pass the double-century mark. And in 6th place, Angels and Demons fell 48% and pulled in another 11 million, but continues to make its real money overseas. And Hugh Jackman's X-Men Origins Wolverine finally stopped running and made a peaceful life for itself with the 170 million mark, putting it way below the final tallies of both X2 and X-Men The Last Stand. I saw a movie this weekend and I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Filmmakers, do you have 15 seconds? Next New Networks is partnering with the Ignite Film Festival, and we're looking for 15-second films. Quick, fast, and fun, and you'll even have the chance to have your movie screened in front of hundreds of people in New York City. Learn more at the link below.
My name is Matteo, and I see movies everywhere. You're watching Indie Mogul.
This weekend I saw Pixar's Up, and I chose to see it in 3D. Everyone's been saying that the 3D here is very subtle, and they're right, but so is the movie, so it's a good fit. I very much enjoy 3D movies because it really creates a feeling of immersion. However, to be honest, while I was watching this movie, I totally forgot I was watching it in 3D. I guess I would have to watch Up in both 3D and regular D to see if it truly makes a difference in the viewing experience, but that's an experiment I don't really have the time or money for right now, but perhaps in the future. The danger of broken promises. Have I learned nothing from this movie? Once you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to try and keep this review spoiler-free. Though I will warn you, Up is very adult. It deals extensively with death, and if you take a small child to see this, they will have some tough questions for you. It was hard for me to handle. I cried. I worried about my own mortality. Does this sound like a good time to anyone? Well, it kinda is, like reading a poem or seeing a painting that hits you in the gut and pulls on your heartstrings. For good or bad, Up will stick with you and perhaps, dare I say it, haunt you. And if an animated movie can be that powerful, well, it can only come from Pixar. I recently read that when Pixar first started making movies, none of the staff had any movie-making experience. When they got the green light for Toy Story, the creative team had to run out and take screenwriting classes. Pretty risky move when they could have just brought in outside writers. Well, thank goodness they didn't, because Pixar has some of the most imaginative and disciplined storytellers working in film today. That's why I chose Scat Free as the winner of the One Sentence Review Challenge. This movie does challenge the rest of Hollywood, and for all our sakes, I hope it's a challenge they can meet. P.S. Kudos to Pixar for the depiction of young Ellie. She was absolutely adorable and spunky, a very cool female character. As always, thanks for watching Movie Math, and I'll see you on Fridays. Beyond the Trailer covers Land of the Lost, The Hangover, and My Life in Ruins. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math.
Subscribe, comment, rate it.